Any excuse.
Oh, God.
Any excuse. Any excuse.
Magic Mike in the heels.
Any excuse to take your shirt off. Any
Every time.
excuse.
What are you talking about? I'm Magic Mike. Money Maker Mike. We should have been.
Money Maker Mike.
That's who we should be.
We should have been. You could have been James.
Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme. No, not Krispy Kreme.
well,
Froggy
Froggy
Fresh.
Fresh.
I
now.
just got dunked on.
No, you just got dunked out.
Denzel Washington.
All right. Why don't I do an intro?
Do it.
Jared Poland, FroKnowsPhoto.com. Welcome to RAWtalk number 155. This is the Halloween episode. It's also a night episode because I just landed from Minnesota. As soon as I landed, got back here, we got ready to record, and we are recording right now.
Are we?
This is Halloween. We all got our
I
costumes
hope we
on.
are.
We got our costumes.
We do.
And being that
Scary.
it's a late night show, anytime it's a late night show,
Wait, where's my beer at? Joe!
no, it's Hey Beer Man.
Beer me! Beer here!
Hey Beer Man.
Beer here!
It's scary, too. It's scary at Halloween time.
So Joe's dressed up with his costume. This is actually his costume.
He's even opening it for me.
He is an official beer person.
Good job, Sam.
You didn't give him a tip?
Good job, Carl. Carl, sit down. Sit down, Carl. You will get eaten.
All right, hold on.
Oh, am I allowed to keep this on the table?
Yeah, Joe is an official beer vendor at the Phillies, Eagles. No Flyers? No. I work in the stand. Nobody asked you. He works in the stand
just
at the
did ask
Flyers
Is that what you
game.
went to college for? Congratulations.
All right, so we have a lot to get to today. This is a special show, one, because obviously it's late at night. I have my shirt off
Spooky.
because I'm Magic Mike. You're
Really scary.
You need no excuse to take your shirt off.
It's the great old American Baseball League. Jimmy Dugan is here.
I'm here, kids.
I don't know Todd's character because I've never watched an episode.
I've never have.
of
Yeah.
I'm
that
Rick
show.
Grimes, bitch.
So I asked, instead of flying solo this week, I asked for horror stories. Ooh. Because it is Halloween episode, and we'll get to those later. We've got our plug. We've got why I was in Minnesota. We've got photos of Mr. Big, or pictures of Mr. Big
Do
that people
we?
did. Yeah, we
Actual
do.
photos.
Yeah, so before we talk about why I was in Minnesota and how it went and all that good stuff, why don't I do the plug? And it's talking points for the HOYA HD3.
Plug me.
It's HOYA's week again.
Plug me.
Plug you?
Plug me hard.
All right, so point 1, 800% harder, ultra smooth, nano coating on the UV, and 200% harder for the circular polarizer filter. Like we said, remember, John Wayne Bobbitt, if he was using these, he would not have had an issue with Lorena Bobbitt bobbitting him.
Yep.
2, the UV filter has chemically enhanced... who doesn't want chemically enhanced optical glass?
I love personally being chemically enhanced.
Dude, Todd, it's 4 times stronger than being optically enhanced.
If I'm chemically enhanced, it doesn't matter.
I'm chemically
You are
enhanced
chemically
right
enhanced
now.
right now.
I don't stop when I'm chemically enhanced.
God, this neck.
Get off me!
What this bow tie? This bow tie is definitely 800%
Yo, nice
tighter.
pecs, bro.
Hey, who me?
Yeah. They look
Watch this.
800%
Watch this.
harder
Nice
right now.
farmer tan, by the way.
Worst tan ever.
I'm making my boobies bounce because of HOYA. New 32-layer HOYA proprietary coating system to reduce reflections. So if you are Michael Jackson, the man in the mirror, it would reduce your reflection by 32 layers of proprietary coating. New coating technology yields 99.7% light transmission and is scratch and stain resistant, so Magic Mike would like it. Water and oil repellent also. So if Magic Mike was all over the dance floor and he was sweating all over the
Like
HOYA
that?
filters, he'd be like, yeah, what up? Then it would just, the fog and steam. Say you're in the dance club for women. And it's the men are dancing and the women are throwing money up on the stage. And Magic Mike is out there
I'm picturing
and
it.
he's
Oh, boy.
doing it.
Oh,
and he's
boy.
like, "Hey ladies, it's so steamy in here.
Are we
His
done
little
yet?
little
But
hair
look
patch.
at my HOYA filter. It
yeah.
doesn't even get fogged up.
Oh my God,
and
look at this
even
farmer stand.
even if it got some liquid on it, it would just go away because it's a HOYA filter.
Do you take change? I only have nickels.
I got a nickel for your pickle. All
I
right.
got a nickel bag of funk.
So thank you, HOYA, for being this week's sponsor. remember, go check out the HOYA HD3. Go to their website to learn more about how it can be 800% times harder, more hard, and Magic Mike can be there for you.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Steven's pants are really tight. I feel like he's 200% harder than I.
Are you wearing a cup?
No, I'm not.
That's what's harder then.
What does your hat stand for? Do you know?
It is
Your hat.
the Rockford Peaches.
Oh, you had the look? You didn't
I had
know it
to
was the
look.
Rockford Peaches?
It's been a while.
Marla Hooch. Hooch. You don't remember Marla Hooch?
I remember.
She was the one from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
From a distance. Anyway, so I was in Minnesota. I was speaking at an event called Converted 2015 or Converted 15. It's an internet marketing type thing. They do a web page building thing called Lead Pages.
How'd they call it Converted?
Because the whole point is that everybody that was speaking there was basically helping your conversions, meaning conversions to making sales.
Gotcha.
You take your people, you get them on your email list, and then you convert them into something. That's what they talk about with Converted. So they asked me to speak, so I flew out. Flew out.
How was it?
It was good. I really enjoyed it.
You were by yourself?
I went by. Yeah, you stayed home.
I didn't come with you.
You were editing. I was by myself.
Did you miss
and
me?
I really
Did you get an aisle seat? Because I know you need an aisle seat.
No.
No, he needs a window seat.
I sat in the window.
But in an
A2.
emergency row.
No.
Window aisle seat.
What'd you get?
I was in first class.
sitting next to Vanna White. First class.
So
How did you get first
How
class?
did that happen?
Well, what happened is I was looking for the prices of the flight, and first class was not that much more expensive than the back.
It was only almost double.
So I asked them. I said, "Hey, I'm not just going to do this. Would it be? Here's the two prices. If it's too, if it's the price is not too, if it's too much, then I'll just sit back in the exit aisle row."
I need first class.
No, and they're like, "Go ahead, do the first
Hey,
class."
here's the prices. And by
Demand
the
it.
way, do you know who the hell I am? If I'm not in first class, I'm going to punch you square in the junk.
I am not coming if I'm not first class.
If I'm not in first class, I'm not going to wear my shirt.
So I got to speak.
Yeah.
It was great. I really felt I was nervous.
Oh,
before
you
I
like
went
to
on.
talk
Yeah.
That's weird.
about yourself? Were you talking about yourself?
Yeah.
Wow, you enjoyed that.
I did. I talked about the
You
therapist
never do that.
up on stage.
Crazy.
But I was a little nervous right before I went on, which is good. And as soon as I went up there and just started, it was like the best feeling ever.
Boom.
It was
How
great.
do you get nervous? Butterflies or
Yeah, what are you thinking? What is Jared Pold thinking?
yeah? What is Jared Poland thinking?
Well, being that I didn't prepare anything, I wrote some
that
notes
never- yeah, that's-
beforehand.
well,
you
we,
never
we,
prepare
we know that
anything.
every day.
I get a little like I start talking really fast, like or making jokes to people because I get a little antsy, and I just feel like, oh my god, I'm a little like yeah, butterflies.
Like you think people
ooh.
are gonna laugh at you, or
Well,
you
no,
think
you-
people
They're all
aren't
gonna
gonna?
laugh at
you worry you're not going to get any reactions, or you're not going to do a good
They're all
job.
gonna laugh at you.
You look really scrawny.
But I got out there and just went to town.
I crushed it.
and people
Best
were loving
speaker
it.
ever.
They either loved it or they hated it. It's the best thing to do. Did rapid fire Q&A after talking for about 10 minutes to establish my credibility. Here's my number, because most people didn't know me. Maybe 3 or 4 people in the room raised their hand.
How many people were there? 3 or 4?
500.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, over 500. So, but it was funny because after each of the speakers we were talking, they were talking to me and they're like, they just kept throwing out, my favorite line was this. My favorite line was this. And they was like, no, my favorite line was that. So they're like, you should do comedy. It was almost like a comedy set.
Your set was a comedy set.
Almost.
You.
Yes. I can't wait till
Were
we
there
get the
any
video.
urban jokes?
No.
Because they don't go well for you.
I don't know what you're talking about. It went really well. I enjoyed it. And what I got out of it is that I went out to dinner with the other speakers.
Cool.
The other speakers had interest in what I could help them with, asking me questions, and I had questions for them. And it was really good to get to know, like, this guy, Dan Martell, was awesome.
What's he do?
He started this company called Clarity that he sold.
Oh, the one you were
The
telling
one
us
I was
about,
telling
yeah.
you guys about, basically where you get on an app and you can call these people for advice, and they're successful people, and maybe it costs you $16 a minute or something, which you may think is a lot, but if you're getting to somebody who can get you in
A
10
CEO
minutes
or something,
if
yeah.
you get to somebody who can get you your answer, then it's really worth it because there's no gatekeepers. He made that and he sold it, and now he's into making YouTube videos, and not as many as me. But
Are any of those girls on that I call late at night that are like 2 a.m.? Like, hey, we're really fun.
They're
we
about
want to talk to
$20 a
you.
minute, I think. They
I
may be
talk
a
to
little
them
more
a
upscale.
lot. They don't really have any good advice for me, though. I mean, the advice they give me ends up really wet and sticky, but I mean, it's weird.
Oh man. Great show.
So-
Great show.
we earmuffs because I guess this is a late night show with
We should
people
have prefaced
drinking.
this entire show with earmuffs.
Put a warning up at the beginning.
Yeah, right.
Put up a warning. Put up a warning. Like warning.
Okay, sure.
Perfect.
Yeah. So what was the question?
About what? You were telling us about your trip.
The trip was a lot. I enjoyed. Okay, so there was Dan Martell,
Right.
and this guy. Then it was Pat Flynn. This guy Pat Flynn,
Sounds like a
who
fake
was also
name.
there. No, he's awesome. He
Does
started.
he own an arcade?
No, not that Flynn.
Okay.
He started in 2010 with a podcast, and his thing that he does is he's totally transparent about where he makes money on the internet. So he helps people become internet marketers or sell things better. He helps them get better. But while doing that, he has affiliate commissions, and he lists all of his profits and expenses for the month. And you can read it on his
Wow.
website. So if you
Super
Google,
transparent.
if you Google Pat Flynn, it's straight up transparent. Awesome guy. Had a great time with him. It was just really good to have conversations with other like-minded
Yeah,
people.
I think that's good for you.
Yeah.
Because you like to speak. I think you're good at it.
Thank you.
Just get out there and
Feed that ego, bro.
exactly.
I was up on stage and I'm like, I love this. This is fun.
I love attention. Thank you.
Everyone, look at me.
I can't imagine why anybody thinks I'm a narcissist.
You know what? I'm gonna own it and go with it, Todd.
You should.
That's
cares?
what narcissists do.
Because it's me. It's who I am.
And
It's
I
who
love
I is.
me.
But I will tell you, I am acknowledging that in my head and starting to just sit back and be like, I shouldn't say that because a narcissist
So
would
you're
say that.
thinking before you speak.
A little
Oh.
bit. Like there was one time during when I was talking that they asked a question about does length matter? All right, of videos.
Well, I mean, no, it doesn't. Look, Steven has a girlfriend.
So they asked if length mattered, and I said, all right, I'm gonna let that one go because my buddy Todd, he always says there's jokes that you say with friends around.
It's called private jokes
right.
in public places.
So-
That's what Jared does.
People don't realize, by the way, how much Todd and I cut out of videos that we do because those jokes should be private.
Private jokes
and you
in
say
public
them on
spaces.
video.
I don't know what you're talking
There's
about.
a lot of footage
Yeah.
that.
All
I
right.
have
So anyway,
in the vault.
the show was great. I enjoyed it. Great people, between Pat and Dan. I think they're going to be
Cool.
really good connections for the future. Just great guys and good sounding boards.
Nice.
So why don't we move to
They
Mr.
have
Big?
soundboards?
I asked people for Mr. Big pictures to draw.
Stick figures.
Well, whatever. I have two of them here.
Are they good?
They're funny. I don't know if there were more because obviously I said when I got home we just started the show.
Yeah.
Here's one. You can pop it up on the screen.
Did Todd's daughter draw that?
I don't know. The face is
did
pretty
Sam
good.
draw that? Sam, did you draw that? Carl, did you draw that?
So
Nobody can hear you, so shut the hell up.
So the face is actually pretty good. That is almost what those are what his glasses look like. He wasn't fat.
It
He
looks
wasn't
like a
big.
fat Bill Gates.
He wasn't that big, but that is what his squinty freaking pig
I
nose
mean,
face
he's
that a-
definitely
is that a-
bigger than you.
Is that
so
a
he
girl
is
in the
big.
background? Who's
No,
that
that's
little,
me.
Who's that little curly?
And then
hair?
somebody else came up with this for Mr. Big, but I think they stole this.
All right, now I like that.
Oh, I
a
like
lot.
that.
I don't know if they stole this though, or they drew this, but if they did draw it is very good.
It looks more like a badass hipster.
Yeah, it wasn't. He was older than this. Think this with more of the
That looks more accurate.
squinty eyes. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, you don't even know what he looks like. You
But
weren't
from
there.
what you said,
So that's
Stop lying,
that.
Steven. You don't know.
I don't know. What are you doing down there, huh?
Seriously.
What are you doing?
I had a scratch to itch.
You had like
So it's very
not
tiny
even
scratch.
like a quarter of that drink so far.
You know what?
And I think you are already on fire.
Well, I didn't have much to eat. Though in first class they have chicken. They had chicken. They had grilled chicken.
Ah!
Tell us
my
more
first class
about
chicken.
first class, please. We haven't heard the story yet.
The seats are too big for me.
Too big.
Too big.
Too big.
Yeah,
But
I
you're
just,
so big though.
I could turn sideways and lay down basically in a
How do
first
your
class
arms
seat.
fit in that seat?
Carefully.
How'd you like the
Yeah,
attention from the
tough.
stewardesses?
She brought me a cookie.
She give you a
What? A hunch
shump?
or a bloge? Would you like hunch, bloge, shump? My buddy.
Peanuts. 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 Peanuts.
All right, this is the rated R-ish version of the show, I guess.
That's
Anyway,
every week.
why don't we get into, because we've done all this, I've offended HOYA enough. why don't we get into
Joe, beer me.
airplane music leading us into photo news?
Airplane music leading us into photo news. Okay, are we in first class?
Yes, first class to airplane music leading to photo news.
Okay.
On 3.
Is Todd ready?
Todd, airplane music, first class airplane music. In 3, 2, 1, go.
This is your captain speaking. Just want to warn you that we have a narcissist sitting in first class during today's flight.
Photo news with Steven.
Photo news
God, I
with
gotta work here.
Steven.
Are you crying? Are you
no crying in
No,
baseball.
can you get it right?
What?
It's are you crying? Are you crying?
Oh, God.
There's no crying in baseball.
That's what I just
You didn't
said.
say 2 cryings.
You were
just-
saying that.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to finish my sentences.
There's only crying
I'm
on
wearing the
Frono's photo
uniform
set.
here.
I'm wearing a uniform too. Magic Mike's uniform.
Anyway, photo news-wise, Amazon has announced a new 50 terabyte drive. It's called the Snowball.
Sam, what are you laughing at?
Perfect name.
What do you mean? What's a snowball? Isn't that one of
I don't
those
get it.
isn't that one of those ices that you get from the ice cream man?
Isn't that one, you pack snow?
No, like a snowball, you eat it.
That's a snow cone.
Oh.
Or a screwball.
You ever eat a snow cone and then spit it in somebody else's mouth?
See what you're saying.
Snowball.
The new drive is not one to own either. It's a new backup solution that will ship to your house, then back to Amazon for cloud storage backup. Now, here's how it works. Amazon ships it to you. You have 10 days to load everything onto it that you want backed up.
One day times 10.
They ship you a hard drive.
They do.
Basically.
It looks
Okay.
awesome too.
A giant box. So you then ship it back to them once complete, and they transfer everything to their Amazon Web Services cloud storage in just a day. And fun fact, they can download up to 1 petabyte in just 15 hours to their services.
How much is it?
Well, let me get to that. Now, the unit itself has a hardened casing and weighs 47 pounds.
Like
It
my
is-
abs.
It is ready to ship with no external boxes needed. It's rain, dust, and tamper resistant. Now, transfer-wise, it has a high-speed 10 gigabits per second network connection to minimize data transfer times and can be used in parallel with multiple Snowball devices to create larger bandwidth.
Snowball devices.
So 10 snowballs could transfer with the
snowballs?
equivalent
That's a lot.
with
That's
the
a lot
equivalent
to
of a
deal with right
100
there.
gig connection. Now, the service will cost you $200 plus shipping. However,
For one.
for one unit.
How much is storage?
Now, if you calculate Amazon's storage pricing, 50 terabytes full of Amazon S3 storage will cost you about $1,600 a month.
I don't know if that's
Whoa,
true.
So it is pricey to
$1,600 a
store.
month?
Yes.
That's that Big Willie option
Yeah.
right there.
Well, that's
Yes.
for businesses that need to get shit done in data.
Enterprise, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So, by the way, we're heading up to Photo Plus tomorrow. We were recording on a Wednesday. Photo Plus we're going up to is a Thursday.
And it'll be over by then. By the time
Well, it'll
this
be
comes
over by
out.
then, but the whole point is we're going up to that. We'll talk about whatever happened there, which I'm not expecting very much to happen there at
Next week.
all. But we'll talk about that next week.
Yep. Next up, Lomography has announced a new film by Kono. It's called Dough Now. It's a new limited edition.
Dough now?
Dough Now.
DONOW?
DONAU.
I like fried dough
That's
now.
Danu.
I like fried dough now.
Dough Now.
That's Danu.
Are you sure of that?
Well, are you sure of do now?
I looked it up.
Where'd you look it up?
It's a German word.
You're a liar.
It's pronounced Dough Now.
9!
And I made sure because you were going to correct me on that.
Hello. Hi. Are you German?
I am German.
Da.
It's crazy. I'm
Das
German.
Guten. Das Garten
It's
gut.
crazy when I listen to podcasts and that little news thief mispronounces all our language.
Yeah. They always get a language wrong. It's where they think we're angry. We're not angry. I'm happy right now. Ha, schnell.
Now, it's a new limited edition, ultra slow 35mm film with an ISO of just 6. It's meant for long exposures, obviously.
Did you say 6?
He said
Six.
6.
There's nothing I can do with only 6.
6.
I need at least 12,000.
12,800.
I need at least 12,800.
Now, the film is tungsten balanced, too, so it has a retro tungsten tint to it. They say when used during the day, it will emit brilliant
I can
blue
see Jared's
tones
tints.
that evoke a totally retro vibe. Now, fun fact, it was never intended to be used in camera. Instead, it was originally designed to bring digital images to film during post-production in the movie industry.
Oh.
Now, price-wise, you can get a pack of 3 36 exposures film rolls for $38.
That's not that expensive.
That's pretty expensive.
$11.50 a roll or so.
That's kind of expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive.
For a
It's not
film roll
expensive
like
when
this.
you sit in first class, Steven. Nothing's expensive when you sit in first class, so shut your pie hole and read the news.
Sigma has unveiled the world's widest f1.4 lens, their new 20mm f1.4 art lens. The lens is designed specifically for high megapixel DSLRs. They say it helps bring out the full potential of the cameras. Now, spec-wise, it weighs 33.5 ounces, has their hypersonic motor, a minimum focus distance of 10.9 inches, and a coating that minimizes flaring, ghosting, field curvature, and aberrations. What are you guys laughing at?
I have to take a picture of this and you can put it up on the screen. But as I look at Jared, he looks like he's got nothing on because the table's covering his shorts. He looks absolutely butt naked right now. And I'm drinking my drink and I'm like, holy shit, he looks like he's wearing nothing right now. It's the scariest thing ever. Dude.
I can tell he's drunk, too, because he's not paying attention at all. He's just looking around the room as I'm, like, reading the news. I've had about an ounce of alcohol, and
You're
I'm
telling
hammered.
a story about Danu.
Anyway, moving forward. It'll be available at the end of November in Canon, Nikon, and Sigma mounts for
we're up to the Sigma
$899. Yes, thanks for paying attention. I'm glad I did my
I was
research
one
on
story behind.
all this news.
Thank you. That's not all the news,
What
is
was
it?
the point?
Steven,
not-
I was traveling.
Is that all the news?
Steven,
No, it's not all
Oh,
the
I
news.
was going to say.
I was traveling. Not basketball. I was not thising. I was traveling.
Yes, first class.
Keep going.
We heard. Another world first lens. ZY Optics has announced the world's fastest 135mm lens. Their new Midicon Speedmaster 135mm f1.4 lens. Now, spec-wise, it has a minimum focus distance of about 5 feet. Has a clickless aperture ring, so it's manual, 105mm filter thread, and weighs about 6 pounds. It'll come in Canon, Nikon, and Sony FE mounts, and it'll cost you about $3,000 to own one of these, and only 100 units will ever be made.
So Nikon, Sony, and FE.
Yeah, Nikon, Canon, and Sony.
How much?
$3,000.
That's not that bad.
That ain't nothing when you sit in first class.
Imagine that for video.
That's
Yeah.
nothing in first class.
Manual lens, keep in mind. I know you're
Oh,
big
it's
on
manual. Well,
yeah.
for video.
Yeah, yeah,
for,
exactly.
For cinema,
Video.
for Todd, if Todd was paying attention and not thinking about me naked, he would. You could see under the table too, can't you?
Yeah, I can see that the little mushroom.
the little nugget up there.
All right, keep
Now,
keep going.
ZY Optics says the development and material cost is extremely high. It is not necessarily a retail item, but a collector's item, is what they're calling
Oh, that's
it.
what I want to do. I want to collect more lenses
Yep.
that I'm not going to use.
Collect a $3,000 lens, put on the shelf.
Yeah.
This guy will do that.
Yeah. Well, when you start sitting first class.
You know, yeah. A man named David Updike, a Harvard graduate, fellow photographer, and college English professor.
Oh, my.
College English professor wrote an
Do
open
you
letter.
speak English, Stephen? You sound like you don't.
The Queen's English.
He
Speak
wrote-
properly, Stephen. If you're from Harvard,
Harvard.
apparently that you grew up with a New Jersey education. You can't speak English.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Excuse me. Do you like apples?
Do I like apples?
Do you like apples?
I like them a lot.
How about that? I mean, I got a number. How about them apples?
What? What?
I got. You like apples? Yeah.
Jared's brain
I
is
know it's a
slowing
joke.
down.
I know he's trying to do a joke.
I
I
here.
got a number. How about them apples?
There should be
Anyway.
a disclaimer at the front of this that Jared does not drink. So
Ever.
when he smells alcohol,
He
he's
gets
done.
hammered.
He's done.
Yep.
This is when I like him
So
the
this
most.
guy, this college professor, he wrote an open letter to a woman who reported him of taking pictures of children, aka being a pedophile.
Yeah, I sent this to you.
Here's what happened. He was sitting in Cambridge's Dana Park about a month ago. He had his film camera with him.
That's London? Or is Cambridge in Massachusetts outside of Harvard?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking now.
Yeah, I think you might be on.
when I read that it was Cambridge, I thought it was London.
I
Yeah.
was thinking that too.
But now that if you put two and two together,
yeah, Harvard.
makes
I
sense.
think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Now he had his film camera with him, and suddenly he was surrounded by 6 police officers questioning him about what he was taking pictures of. A woman had reported him, and now he's responding to her. What are you saying?
I don't know what he's saying to me.
no,
'Cause
remember
it's
what
very
you,
distracting.
I was passing notes.
But you're
For
talking
once,
out
Steven's
loud.
distracted by Jared, whereas Jared's distracted by other people.
Anyway, a woman had reported him, and now he's responding to her with his own open letter addressed to the woman in Dana Park who called the police on September 23rd around 5:30 p.m. The letter basically says how he visits that park almost every day as he lives down the street from it. He said he took a stroll with his camera, then went to go home, and that's when he was detained by police for about 20 minutes. He was questioned about why he was taking pictures of children. He, in fact, had taken 0 pictures that day. They even looked at his flip phone.
Which is bullshit that they asked to hand over your flip phone. Oh, we need to see your flip phone. Why?
And now that also...
What is illegal that I'm doing in this park?
I'll give you my flip phone. You got to come back to 98, though.
Now that also didn't have any pictures on it.
But the only thing you're going to find on there is my dick.
And it's going to be about 3 pixels. Because that's the resolution
of
my flip phone.
You might think it's a little kid's. Don't arrest me, though. That's really mine.
Oh, God.
What was going on that there were kids? It was just a park?
It was a park.
Hold on. Let him finish the story, Todd.
So he was just basically taking pictures.
He was going for a walk, and he took his camera with him.
But he wasn't taking pictures. Again, yeah.
He was just taking his camera. He's been doing that for 30 years in this park.
Now, he ends the actual open letter with, in quotes, suggestion. The next time you suspect someone is up to no good, perhaps you should say hello, speak to them first, and if still anxious, ask what they are taking pictures of. That's what people do in neighborhood parks, talk to each other. This would save someone the humiliation and degradation of being stopped and held by the police, and might save the police from wasting their time when they could be doing something more useful like managing the daily mayhem in Central Square. The fact that you now have my picture in your phone is both sadly ironic and, well, creepy. Could you please delete it?
So it's an open letter to the woman. This woman, he couldn't figure out why she was just standing near him.
This woman who called the cops on him.
In fact, she was taking his picture. She was taking his picture, thinking that he was taking pictures of kids. Enough with this bullshit that thinking everybody is out to get... If you have a voice, get up, say something. Go, excuse me, what are you taking pictures of? It's just the nature of the world that we live in today. If you're at a park and you're taking pictures and there's kids...
Shut up, Carl.
And you're taking pictures of stuff, it doesn't mean that you're taking pictures of kids. And again... It's a park, and there is no law that says you can't take pictures of whatever the hell it is that you want to take pictures of.
Yep.
But the fact that the people get so bent out of shape today before they even ask the question, like, hey, what are you doing? Yeah, I'm just taking a walk. I've been coming here for 30 years, longer than you, and you're going to sit here and take my picture, you woman?
Now, he had a lot more stuff in the open letter, which you guys can find on the website. I posted the entire thing.
FroKnowsPhoto.com/RAWtalk-155.
There you go. Western Digital has agreed to buy SanDisk for $19 billion in cash and stock. Billion with a B.
Now's a good time for me to tell you that Lexar is the official card of RAWtalk.
Analysts have said while Western Digital is a major player in the traditional storage industry, it needs access to SanDisk's NAND technology to better compete in the solid-state drive market.
So who bought who? One more time.
Western Digital bought SanDisk.
Bought
For
SanDisk.
$19 billion.
So Lexar is owned by Micron. Micron is one of the largest memory makers in the world. Now,
wait, you talking about Lexar or SanDisk?
Lexar. I said Micron is one of the largest manufacturers in the world of storage.
Okay.
And now Western Digital is getting majorly into the game because don't forget they're buying patents as well. And the patents that SanDisk owns are pretty powerful.
And that's what they want, yeah.
I bought patent leather shoes last week, but...
Now, Western Digital also said Toshiba, with which SanDisk has an intellectual property sharing joint venture on their NAND flash memory, is supportive of their deal. SanDisk shares rose 2.5% to $79 following the announcement, and upon closing, which will be in the third quarter of 2016, SanDisk CEO Sanjay
Marutu.
Say that 3 times fast.
Marutu.
Again, really fast.
Marotra. He's expected to join the Western Digital board once they close the deal.
Marutu, what do you think about SanDisk getting bought for $19 billion?
Why? How? Wait, what? Marutu? Why would he call? What? No, I realize you have a small monkey brain. I'm not talking about your memories. I realize you don't remember me calling you last week. Yes, I was drunk. Yes, I did ask you to put your finger there. Yes, no. I'll call you later. Let's get off the phone. Shh.
Now, next story. The U.S. government is set to create the first ever federal drone registry where it will be mandatory for drone users to register their drones.
That's racist right there.
The Department of Transportation plans to have all drones in the country registered by this Christmas.
You know what that reminds me of?
What?
This Christmas, I gave you my heart.
That was last
the
Christmas.
very next day,
Not
you
this
gave
Christmas.
it away. Well, this Christmas, I'm going to give you my heart. So fuck off, Steven.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Now, they say more than 1 million drones could be given as gifts to untrained operators this holiday season. The government is... The government is even creating a...
What?
Nothing. I'm just...
Anyway, the government's creating a specific task force just for drones, which will consist of 25 to 30 representatives from the UAS and manned aviation industries and the government. Now, the group will be tasked with putting together a set of recommendations for the drone registry with a November 20th deadline for submitting their proposals. They will advise the department on which aircraft should be exempt from registration due to a low safety risk, including toys and certain other small UAS. Now, the task force will also explore options for a streamlined system that would make registration less burdensome for commercial UAS operators. Once set in place, those caught flying unregistered will face consequences too. FAA administrator...
They will face consequences, goddammit. I will shoot the son-bitches down. If you ain't registered to my personal website, BufordTannin.com,
Buford Tannin.
I will shoot you in the face.
How are you shooting without a gun?
It's cyber gun. Damn you. Look at you with your shirt off. I don't like it. I don't like it a lot. Stop making me sweat. You're not making my tip tingle. Stop it.
Oh, my God. FAA Administrator Michael Huerta says...
Don't make fun of Michael Huerta.
He says registration will help make sure that operators know the rules and remain accountable to the public for flying their unmanned aircraft responsibly.
We're going to register drones.
When they don't fly safely, they'll know that there will be consequences. Now, the full details to the registry will be... Well, they'll be
They
unveiled.
haven't even figured it out
Exactly.
yet.
So all this
It's kind of bullshit. It's premature that they're doing this.
Exactly. They're just announcing that they're going to do it, but they haven't figured out a plan just yet.
We're going to do it soon.
Obviously, it'll be
something
before
about you
Christmas. They're saying November 20th is going to be the deadline for that drone task force.
Right. So then the drone
make up
task
their
force
plan.
is going to
Task
give them a
force.
plan. Then they have to evaluate the plan.
Exactly.
Then they have to implement
There's
the plan.
no way
then they
it'll
have
be
to build a
done by
website.
Christmas.
Then they
So
have
this
to
is all going down by 2020.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Pretty
Cool.
much, yeah.
I mean, look, if there is a way that we can do things in advance so that I can fly a drone when I need to for a project and not worry about, like, oh, I'm going to get in fucking trouble. If there was an online registry where you're like, yep, I'm going to do it for this,
Yeah,
for
it's
X,
called
Y, and
Megan's
Z,
Law.
and, you know, it would be nice to be able to do things in a legal way that keeps things under control.
Of course, yeah.
I agree.
Now, on the topic of drones, there's a new form of hyperlapse now, one done with a drone. A videographer named Jonathan Lucan created a new hyperlapse video with his drone that was made entirely from DNG still photos. He used the DJI Inspire 1 to capture the images, and a third-party app that triggered the drone's camera with intervals of less than 5 seconds each, which resulted in 100 gigs of raw photos. He then created a 2-minute short film from the images using Premiere Pro and After Effects. You can watch the entire video. It's on the website. It's called Night Lapse Concerto.
Night Lapse.
Yes.
I used to watch that on the Playboy channel. Night Lapse.
Speaking of flying, the FAA posted a new warning telling people to not pack spare lithium batteries in their checked baggage. And by spare, they mean lithium batteries that are not installed in a portable electronic device. Now, the FAA says
Never mind.
The FAA says they present a risk of both igniting and fueling fires.
I think Todd has to go to the bathroom.
I gotta pee, damn it.
Time to put that fire out, buddy. Anyway, they say...
How many beers did he have?
he probably had 3 setting up, and I'm talking about like 9%ers right there. The FAA's regulations only allow for limited exceptions for passengers to carry spare lithium batteries in the cabin with them. Now, if you take them on the plane, each spare lithium battery must be individually protected to prevent short circuits
Johnny number 5?
by placement in original retail packaging, by
Oh, yeah.
otherwise insulating terminals, by taping over exposed terminals, or placing each battery in a separate plastic bag or protective pouch. Now, they must also not come in contact with metal objects such as coins, keys, or jewelry. How was that? Good?
Well, he just steps on everything.
I had to take a leak.
Oh my God.
Cowboy boots on. Yeah, I mean.
And they say to take steps to prevent crushing, puncturing, or pressure on the battery when you are putting them in your bag.
Got it.
So that's it for that. A photographer is publishing the world's first ever Instagram novel. Over the course of the next 8 months, Rachel Hulin will be posting an entire novel through the social network. The novel, called Hey Harry, Hey Matilda, will be spread out, with each post being an excerpt from the book. Now, the story is about a pair of fraternal twins in their 30s named Matilda and Harry.
Wait a second. Do they leave crumbs?
Where Matilda is a wedding photographer and Harry is an English professor. Here's how it works. Each Instagram post is an email exchange between the two, and through the email exchange and photos sent between them, the story basically unfolds.
Well, I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, she's about 5 weeks in already.
How many
and
followers does she have?
I don't know. I didn't check that part.
13.
Not as much as you. But she's about 5 weeks in already.
You know how many followers I have? I have more than them.
But if you want to follow along,
And
the
I'm in
story's
first class.
Instagram handle is the title of the book, which is at Hey Harry, Hey Matilda.
Hey, Harry. Hey, Martha.
Leica has
Well, did
unleashed...
you hear the spooky sounds?
Is that a werewolf?
That was like a wolf outside.
Sounded like it.
Was it?
I'm kind of scared.
Oh. No, it was an actual. That was outside.
No, I think that was that.
No, it wasn't me. That really
wasn't
wasn't me.
him.
No,
No.
that wasn't me. That last one was.
That was a
Right.
dog outside.
Are you sure that was a dog?
Or a werewolf.
Or-
Or Marutu.
Kind of freaked out.
I
right
guarantee if a fucking werewolf or zombie comes in here, the first one going is fucking Sam. I will push Sam into the zombie teeth in a heartbeat.
Hey, number 14. We're 14. We're coming for
And then
you.
I will stab you in the head, Sam, to make sure I get the cranial membrane and put you down.
now. Leica has unleashed a new full-frame
Son
mirrorless
bitch.
camera. It's called the Leica SL. Now, Leica says the new SL is a mirrorless camera system designed for professional photographers. Spec-wise, it has a 24-megapixel full-frame CMOS sensor, an ISO range of 50 to 50,000, no OLPF for sharper images. It has the fastest autofocus on the market with 49 autofocus points, a 2 gig buffer, which can shoot 33 raw photos in a row without stopping. Dual SD card slots, shoots 11 frames per second. It has a 3-inch touchscreen LCD, shoots internal 4K video at 30 frames per second, or 1080 at 120 frames per second. Has uncompressed video out.
Huh.
4 megapixel EVF.
That ain't bad.
What is bad is the price. It's $7,450, and it'll be available on November 16th.
You ready for this, Steven?
I'm ready.
Go fuck yourself. Beep that.
So you're going to buy this camera?
Nope.
Sounds like it.
Nope.
It sounds like you're excited.
Nope.
Nope.
You know what? I've always, and I've told other people that buy cameras or, they buy gear all the time. I'm like, I'm not in the business of owning and renting equipment. Like, I don't feel the need to buy and rent and purchase every single piece of new, like, fangled gear. Like, I feel like that's the job for rental houses. If you want to be an independent filmmaker, it's probably best to focus on story, and then you can rent all these toys. And I'll leave it at that. Jared,
And this is Leica we're talking about. They're always way overpriced.
oh, yeah. Well, Jared's bored because he's looking at his watch.
How you doing over
Well,
there?
let's keep going because I have to get to the horror stories.
How you doing?
I'm fine.
Feeling good?
I am perfectly fine.
There's a
Perfectly
new
fine.
high-end selfie stick specifically designed for brides. The classy stick debuted at Ream Acras, the
Ream-
company
what
who
are they
makes it.
reaming?
They're called Ream Acras.
You know what? I got an idea. Like, he just said wedding selfie stick. I just thought of the AVN selfie stick.
The adult video?
I'm just thinking, like, if I was at AVNs again, they probably have selfie sticks. Like, they have brony tails.
What are brony tails?
Just keep going. Google brony tail.
So anyway, debuted at their bridal shower last week. It's covered with Swarovski crystals and white blossoms, and is painted all white, of course.
See,
for the
Jared
bride.
knows how to say Swarovski crystals because he sits in first class.
Now they say posed pictures can look formal and serious, and the selfie stick will give everyone something to smile
Yeah,
about.
shitty photos.
It's being sold for $500 and is already out of stock at their Fifth Avenue flagship store.
Good for you.
Now, in the bridal show's video, you can see some of the models rocking a wedding gown and walking down the runway with the actual selfie stick, which you can see over on the website. I posted that video. They even have bejeweled headphones that they're wearing with the designer. What are you doing here? What are you doing?
Selfies.
Get out of here. But the designer says that with the headphones and the classy selfie stick, it tunes out the rest of the world so they can just be themselves with the selfie stick
That's
and
great.
take pictures.
Great
That's
story,
stupid.
Stephen. Thank you.
That's stupid. That is stupid.
Awesome.
Good story, stupid thing.
Concert photographers wanting to photograph Janet Jackson on her current Unbreakable World Tour
Nasty.
are pretty annoyed at her new photo release. The contract says they only get the first 30 seconds of the first song to shoot the pop star.
First 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Let me just reiterate. This is normal. This is normal.
That's
high-end
normal
acts.
for like a big
This
for a
is
big
normal.
act.
Like
Really?
Billy Joel, 30 seconds.
Really?
Paul McCartney, one song now. Elton John, like 20 seconds. These guys.
Why
have
do
been
they do that, though? Why
Because
do they
they've
do
been
it?
around so long, they don't give a shit. They don't need these photos.
Do they just not want to be distracted by it?
No, they're not even. They don't even. They don't care anymore. They don't need the photos. They
Right.
don't need the publicity. Like Janet Jackson. Do you think anybody gives a shit right now about Janet Jackson?
I was literally online looking at tickets for Janet Jackson because my wife wants to go for her
She's a
birthday
fan?
next year. Yeah, and like $200-300 for anything like on the floor, just insanity.
This is like StubHub, or this is actually...
This is yeah. We looked at like all the places around Philadelphia, Atlantic City, Hershey.
Wow.
AC is going to be the most expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pricey. Yeah.
So first 30 seconds of the first song, and that all copyright will be handed over to the Janet Jackson camp.
Are they
and
collecting the
considered
images
work
at the
for
end of the
hire.
day?
They are not. They're not forcing you to collect the images, but they say you just send a contact sheet over to them.
See,
How do you do?
First
I send
off-
a contact sheet in '85?
right. Like
Yeah, clearly, this form was made then.
See,
Yeah.
it's first off, these stories are no big deal. So any people that are getting bent out of shape about these contracts, who cares? This is not a slight at the photographer at all, because I guarantee you that Janet Jackson has a photographer on tour with her
Yeah.
that has access to get
Yeah.
awesome photos
Oh, yeah.
to send to the press. They don't need you because you want to shoot Janet Jackson and shoot a show for free, and you get pissed off that you get to shoot 30 seconds and then you have to go home. They don't care, and I don't care about it either.
She doesn't care, and you better call her Miss Jackson if you're nasty.
That's what it is.
You know why Janet Jackson does that though? Because she wants to keep control. Control.
Well, speaking of control, to make things even more strict,
Control.
she's cracking down on Instagram users that are posting images and videos of her from her tour.
Now that's going
No,
too
that's
far.
crazy.
Let him go.
Now, Instagram users are reporting that their accounts are being deleted after they posted photos and or videos of Jackson during her Unbreakable concert tour right
Why?
now. They have all gotten an email from Instagram saying their content had been reported as copyright infringement from a third party.
Why?
Oh,
Now,
wow.
Instagram later restored some of the Instagram accounts.
Why would they delete your account? You didn't do anything. You went to a show. Did they post pictures? Did they post a notice? Did they post a notice that said you cannot take photos tonight and it's copywritten? If you take photos, you shouldn't post it. Holy shit, Janet Jackson. Will you get a freaking life?
Now, I can understand video a little bit because of the audio, but
A little
pictures?
bit. But still images?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? You're trying to stifle social
Wow.
media now?
That's promotion. I mean, that's all promotion.
Right. Do you want people to come see you?
Now, Instagram is saying that only repeat infringers will be permanently deleted, and apparently there was a bug that was deleting first-time violators. So a couple of these people got their accounts deleted from just posting a
Just
single
the
picture.
account, not the picture, the
the
whole
entire
account.
account.
No, that's
But
horseshit.
Instagram
I don't
is
believe
saying
that.
that was a
Crazy.
bug.
That's
that
crazy.
shouldn't have happened. So,
Yeah.
But still, they're reporting that. Yeah.
What
this
other
is
songs
copyright
does she
infringement.
have?
Rhythm Nation.
We are the blood of the Republic.
That's how it sounds. And I mean,
I don't even know what she sings. To
I
be
don't
honest.
know. What was
I
that
can't
song
even-
that she did?
I can't remember.
From the from Nutty Professor.
Nutty Professor.
Oh, I forget what that was called.
That was like
but yeah.
big.
I've had too many beers.
Go,
Jeez.
go.
That's it for photo news. That is it.
Thank God.
We rolled through
Jeez.
that. You guys really
Yeah, we
interrupt.
did good. Well, that's because we're drunk.
I'm not drunk at all. I have self-control.
Shut up.
Todd, I am fully in control.
I didn't say you weren't in control.
What do we do next? Do we do Gear of the Week, or do we get into Flying Solo?
Usually we do flying solo, then gear of the week, then wheel.
All right, so for Flying Solo, I requested that you people,
Oh boy, here we go.
Todd, you people out there watching the show, I requested your horror stories because I thought, being this is a spooky week, it would be okay.
Spooky week.
It's okay, like, share your horror stories. So people submitted them, and I'm going to read them.
Did you get a lot?
I got it. Yeah, there were over 210 comments. So this is what I did this morning. Is when I woke up in Minnesota, I went and I just started to do this work to pull these so I could get home and do it.
Cool.
Nice.
Oh shit.
Horror stories. I can't wait to hear these.
Dalibor Bauernfringen.
Great name.
I had a dream that Todd was shooting my wedding. How's that for a freaking horror story?
Father Summerson, I will come to your house and shoot you like a zombie.
It was Dalibor Bauernfringen. And it ended with confused emoticon.
I forgot it right.
Oh, now the listeners have jokes. All right, cool.
Graham Ross. Hey, Fro, not a horror story, but you know what would be scary? If that guy from last week who shot the pornographic scene didn't use the 800-time harder and liquid resistant HOYA filters, because if it's not harder and liquid resistant, what's the point? All right, we got the jokes out of the way. Mike Wing. A few years ago, I was offered the opportunity to photograph a wedding for one of my mom's friends, and at the time, I thought it would be a great idea. By the way, some of these are a little longer this week
Yeah, it's fine.
because they had to get into the story.
Expected,
They're
yeah.
stories.
Of course.
I thought it would be a great idea to get some experience and make a bit of money, ... I was wrong, period. It was going to be a beautiful outdoor wedding, which was great for me because at the time I had very little knowledge of Flash and couldn't yet use it effectively. Well, it's not your fault. Todd sucks at weddings too.
Screw you!
Unfortunately, from the morning of the wedding, it was just one thing after another that seemed to go wrong. As soon as I woke up, I feel like I'm Casey Kasem.
You sound like him.
Casey Kasem. It's a long
distance dedication.
dedication from me to you. Unfortunately, from that morning of the wedding, it was just one thing after another that seemed to go wrong. Ooh. As soon as I woke up, it was pouring down rain, which really took the wind from my sails. As if it wasn't, as if I wasn't scared
Can
enough.
you play Sailing from Christopher Cross?
Sailing away,
takes me away
on a distant starship
I
for
think
the
of it in
virgin
Cartman's
skies.
voice.
I think we're singing two different songs.
Sailing.
I said Sailing from Christopher Cross.
Oh, I was
thinking that
Cartman.
too. Yeah, I was thinking that.
Sailing away. Bling, bling, bling. All right. I woke up. It was pouring down rain, which really took the wind from my sails, as if I wasn't scared enough shooting my first wedding. I showed up at the venue early to ensure I had a plan for shooting this event, but unfortunately, I was greeted by more bad news. The venue wasn't big enough to seat all the guests, so there was no room for an aisle, and no one side of the seating was entirely blocked off. So I was forced to shoot the entire ceremony from behind all the guests. Once I came to terms with that, I got my gear out and started figuring out lighting. Yeah. As I took a few test shots, I started to notice an odd smell, and the more I shot, the stronger it became. I eventually pegged the smell as burning plastic, which I thought was odd, until I held my camera out and fired a shot, only to see a pronounced puff of smoke rising from my flash. Face palm. Once guests started showing up, I got increasingly stressed out, but I shot a few more candles as the venue started filling, and it seemed to be going okay. Then everyone sat down, and I saw where the altar was going to be, right in front of the exit, which a nice big red exit sign. Oh, joy. as if I wasn't having a hard enough time with this wedding, when the bride's father walked her to the altar, he decided to stand in front of them for the half of the ceremony, directly between the only place I could shoot from and the happy couple. Due to the frantic nature of the ceremony and the fact that I couldn't hear the priest from the back, I wasn't able to prepare myself for the kiss. I missed the kiss. It still haunts my dreams.
Oh, God.
Guess what I did? Got the kiss.
Booyah.
Boom. Drop the mic.
Boom.
The rest of the evening was equally as horrible, but since I've rambled on long enough, I will end my story here. Hopefully you enjoyed it. That is a horror story. Sounded really bad.
Sounds like Todd's story.
Tila Halpin. Sitting on a set between takes, camera in my lap, strap around my neck, I stood up to shoot. I felt the strap sliding around my neck. Camera was falling fast. Once one end of the strap had come detached from the camera, grabbed the strap with about 2 inches left, almost lost my rig to the cold concrete. Had to sit down to calm my nerves for a few minutes.
Wasn't hot concrete?
No, it was cold.
Cold concrete.
I love the added
love the
superlatives
adjectives,
of
yeah.
the cold concrete.
The cold concrete.
Yeah,
to the
always
touch.
be sure that your strap is attached when you have a
Make sure
strap.
your strap is strapped on.
Your camera, Todd.
Make sure your strap on is strapped on.
Bryce Twyman. I saw Todd through my viewfinder once. I haven't dared to look through it since.
Screw you!
Simon Pollock, my friend. Photo horror stories. Well, I was in Israel, and this guy with a fro and a tutu, who I think may have had been a touch drunk, licked my face. Does that count?
Licked his face?
Yeah, I did.
Were you Magic Mike?
It was funny.
You're Magic
There's
Mike.
dancing videos from that night
Was
in
it
Israel.
funny?
Magic
Was
Mike.
it funny to you, or was it funny to everybody else?
Everybody was laughing at me.
Funny.
laughing with you or
At
at
you or
you?
with
With
you?
you or at you?
Either way, they were laughing.
Oh, God.
I'll take it. Leslie Duquette. Duquette.
DQ? I like Dairy Queen.
I was working at a nightclub, country bar. Gig last summer. Being a female photographer around all those drunk guys had its super shitty moments, including getting...
Hey, girl! What you doing? What you filming on right there? You better not have them goddamn drones. But you be looking fine as shit.
almost
Come
as,
here, girl.
Almost as good as my 16-year-old daughter bathing in the pool.
You almost look as good as my daughter, all sprawled out in my above ground pool.
Above ground.
On
kiddie
the
pool.
floaty. She's on a noodle.
These on my noodle.
Drunk guys, super shitty moments, including getting hit on so many, hitting on and so many. I'm a photographer too. Can I use your camera and take a picture of you? But my horror story is
Hey,
from
girl. You mind if I take a fine old picture of you? You know I got a flip phone now. Obama wants to take my flip phone, but I won't let him. Let me flip you over and take a picture.
Okay, but my horror story is from my very first night. I was in the crowd on the dance floor getting good photos, and I turned around to see a guy lunging towards me puking.
I'm puking right now.
A lot. I
Was
just
that
barely,
Jimmy Dugan?
I just barely got out of the way fast enough. That's her horror story. Neil Southwell. Hey, Fro Steven and the legend Todd Wolf. Cue air horn. Scariest thing ever. Turning up to a maternity photo shoot.
God damn it, that was the
you
wrong
get.
button.
Turning up to a photo maternity shoot that wasn't going to be...
Frodo, fraternity
Hold
or
on,
maternity?
Hold on. Let me go back and read this. This thing is... Turning up to a maternity photo shoot that wasn't going to feature any nude shots.
That was a disappointment to them?
Hold on. After the pre-photos, I went to collect my camera and notes to discover both the expecting parents were completely naked, ready for their close-ups.
Oh,
yes,
God.
that's right.
my
The
nightmare.
dad was stark bollock naked.
I didn't bring those pictures, by the way, last time.
Oh, baby, I love you.
Oh, God.
Did your daughter come out and say...
Here's the thing that made it happen right here, girl. Take a picture of this. Take a picture of this. I hope you brought your wide angle lens.
Here's the baby maker.
Here's a baby maker. Hope you brought the wide angle Willie.
I hope you brought your macro lens.
brought that macro.
Can I get back to this?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Brian Troll. I flew from Florida to New York to do 2 shoots for a magazine and also got to shoot my nephew's band playing one of their first big shows. I packed a lot into the trip and was exhausted and made the mistake of not dumping my photos on my laptop right away. I got back to Florida and started importing photos into my laptop but passed out on the couch. I woke up the next day to find that my plastic memory card case, resembling a dog toy, had been chewed to shreds by my dog, and the memory cards were missing. I eventually found 2 intact memory cards and 2 chewed-up memory cards. 50-50 chance, but of course the photos from these shoots were on one of the chewed-up memory cards, and even after the great effort, the files were not recoverable. It was not a comfortable call to make to the magazine to tell them, yes, my dog really did eat my memory cards.
Wow.
And we do have a photo to show.
Do we?
Yeah.
Wow.
So you can pop that up.
I mean, I've washed my memory card, my Lexar
But that's
memory card
okay.
before, and it actually worked.
They're supposed to work.
Yeah, they worked. It was fine. Everything was okay. But I've never had a dog chew on
I've
my
never
freaking
had
memory
a
card.
memory card fiasco. Like
Jesus.
That's the only thing that I've ever had.
I think
yeah.
I'm always so paranoid that I
Knock
back
on
up.
wood, bro.
so-
Oh, when we're done
Yeah.
this show,
Yeah.
every time I go home right away, dump everything right away.
Until tonight, until you vomit all
Until
over 'em.
tonight. Tonight I'm gonna get home and just be like, exactly this guy did. Pass out.
Well, you have to get up early to get to Photo Plus.
Yeah, and we
here.
got Photo Plus in
You need
probably
to be
like
here
8 hours.
at like 6:45.
Let's have another
so we
beer,
got Photo
Steven.
Plus in like
Steven, let's
7
drink some
hours.
more.
You have to be here at 6:45.
Get him another
Joe,
beer.
beer
Get him
me.
another beer, Carl.
All right, I'm reading. Black Ice, Andrei, Andrei. At the end of my first year of college, I was getting home with my compact Super Zoom switched from early digital compact cameras in my bag, being stopped in my way by 2 guys, one of them claiming that I have messed with his girl. Funny thing was, I was just after a breakup myself, so the guys said she lived...
I'm sorry, it was only 2 fingers, not 3.
You
Don't be mad. Don't be mad. It was only 2 fingers.
She lived in the neighborhood, in some apartment building, and we should clarify. Little that I know, I got in the elevator, stopped between floors, and got really mugged.
Wait,
Really
got mugged?
At some point, I just said I wanted the cards. I got a fist full of them. Nothing was ever recovered or apprehended. 1 year later, I got my first DSLR, but going out shooting became a daily nightmare, street photography being out of the question.
Wait,
So basically, they lied and made up a story that he said something to their girls, got him in an elevator, and then beat him up
And took his stuff?
and took his stuff.
took his memory cards.
No, they took everything,
That's
including his
terrible.
dignity.
Yeah. Wow.
That's horrible.
Yeah,
That's a terrible,
that's a
terrible
horror
story. That is
story.
a... Hold on.
Literally
Hold
a
on.
horror
That's a
story,
horror
yeah.
story.
Moral of the story, don't get in elevators with strangers, regardless if they tell you that you stole their girlfriend or not.
I got thrown up against the lockers in high school for talking to somebody's girlfriend one time. I was about 105 pounds in high school.
What are you doing, Dirt Wolf?
Like
Oh,
Jared now.
dude, he levitated me off the ground. It was like,
What was his name?
wham!
What was his name?
I don't remember.
Did you see him at the last reunion?
No, he was older than me. Now the girl's name was Audrey. I don't remember. You know,
What'd you
Yeah.
say?
What'd you
Reenact,
I do remember her last name. I won't put out there. But,
reenact what you reenact what you said to Audrey.
what did I say to Audrey? All right, look.
Hey,
At-
girl,
at
you're fine.
At 105 pounds, all I've got is my humor and my personality. Like I'm not really closing the
Small
deal
penis.
on my sexual physical prowess. I'm not really closing it there. So I got to be funny. So I'm funny in my art class, and she's you're so funny, Todd. You're the funniest guy I ever met.
Wait, what is she?
A girl? I don't know.
A girl.
Yeah, she was smoking too. Now I think about it.
And so what'd she say to you?
Anyway, but no,
She
I
gave you her
started-
AIM?
but it was going really good.
Here's my screen name.
Dude,
Todd.
what?
Did she give you your Prodigy?
Hey, this is way
contact?
before that.
She gave me her address to her house.
This is,
She
gave
did?
the actual
No.
phone number.
No, I probably could look her up in the phone book.
This is before I was born.
This is probably 88.
I was born in 1988.
Yeah.
All right, keep
So,
going. So what'd she say?
She didn't really. She was positive in class, but the next day, I don't know if I asked her out, like, hey, we should hang out sometime. I was trying to close the deal.
Damn.
Hey, what's
Next
up?
morning, I came to
What's up?
school, though. My man just came up, and he was like a big skateboarder dude, but he was like,
Tony Hawk.
Tony Big Hawk. He was a giant, just fucking picked me up, 100 pounds, just wham up against it. I said,
Yes, sir.
he's like, don't talk to her anymore. I'm like, okay. I didn't talk to her anymore.
You weren't the sheriff then.
No.
All right. Natalie Skittles Williams.
Skittles.
I was doing a family photo shoot of a gentleman with his newborn son and daughter. He had recently returned from Afghanistan, and his girlfriend really wanted photos of them all. It all went normal. I did the initial check, going through checking what was okay. I did a test print too. A few days later, just before I was about to process the pictures, the gentleman committed suicide, having been unable to cope with what he had seen/done. Devastated and so sorry for the girlfriend and young children, I was going to do an album free of charge. However, all the photos of him, and just the ones of him, any pictures with him in it, had all gone corrupt. The photos of the kids, the photos of the girlfriend were all absolutely fine, but all the pictures of him were gone. If I tried to recover them, it was the same. Any photo of him, it was corrupt.
Man.
That's crazy.
I was at least able to give her the test print, but oh my gosh.
That, like, legit freaks me out.
That's almost like
That's
some
a movie
weird,
script
like,
right there.
Seriously,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's... Shoot. That's
Wow.
horror. That's
Yeah.
Halloween music.
You get chills down your shirt? Oh, wait, I don't have a shirt on.
That's probably the best Halloween story so far, because that right there makes me feel like that's some, like, paranormal shit.
Well, there were a few other paranormal ones that I just thought were a little. I mean, that's you don't know, but there were some others with like hands showing up in photos. Of somebody was at a baseball game. I just got chills. They were at a baseball game. No, they were at.
should have chills. You don't have a shirt on.
I know. They were at a concert, and it was her father's favorite concert, and he passed away.
It was all
and
in
they were
Oaks.
in the front row.
No.
And all the pictures came back with what looked like ghostly clapping hands in them.
No.
Yeah, that's what they said. But I wish they would have shown the photos to prove
should
it.
try to get the photos. I
I
want to
know.
see those.
I know.
So speaking of ghostly stories, we were at this place called the Old Stone House in my my hometown, and we signed up for this thing where ghost investigators come out and basically let you use their gear to try and channel ghosts. So we were in this one house, which is from 1730.
Yes.
And one person committed suicide there, and one person died going down the stairs. And we were trying
hate
to
scary
channel
stories.
ghosts. And I was like, okay about it. I was like, all right, whatever. Like this is
And then
kind of
somebody
freaky.
touched your butt.
This is, by the way, this is like 2 a.m. Like
Yeah.
it's super late at night.
Was there
or
drinking
early.
involved?
Oh, I
There
have
was
a
no
story.
drinking. No, it was legit. But so we're there. We're trying to channel these ghosts. We're asking them questions. We're trying to see if these EVF
Is there any
meters
like
go off and-
the Ouija board involved?
No, they talked about like the Ouija board and how they don't like it, but they were saying that the instruments they were using are like legit or whatever. I don't
They're
know. I wasn't
better
really
than the
paying
Ouija
attention.
board.
There was-
Whatever.
there was no Ouija board though. But moving forward, one of the cameras in the attic went out because they had these cameras basically showing on this TV screen. It went out in the middle of us trying to channel this ghost, and they say that they always see this ghost, this grumpy old man outside the window.
Stop it.
Yeah, it was
That was
super
probably
freaky.
me.
I
That
was
was
like,
probably me.
I didn't sleep for like literally 2 nights. Like it really freaked
Did you
me
see
out.
something? I mean, what?
We didn't see anything besides when we tried to channel this ghost. That this
That
camera that
camera
they
went
had
out.
went out, and they said that this never happens. They try.
Oh.
Who knows?
That sounds
if it
like
was
Ghost
just-
Adventures.
Oh, check this out.
I watch Ghost Adventures.
Yeah, who knows if it was just like for the
every
hype.
weekend.
But it freaked me out, legit. Like I was scared.
Really?
So
Yeah.
so I'm in my bathroom, all right, and you know how there's a lot of
That's
mirrors.
scary all by itself.
Downstairs or upstairs?
This one down
Okay,
here.
gotcha.
You know how there's a lot of mirrors in there.
Were you naked like
I
I
don't
see you
remember.
now?
I may have, but I looked in the mirror, or I may have been peeing, and I saw what looked like a hairy man staring at me.
Well, that was you.
No, do you know what it was?
What?
It was the reflection of the Modest Yahoo photo bouncing off of 3 different mirrors, and he was over my shoulder.
That's actually pretty creepy looking
It
too.
is.
Yeah.
Well, that was when he had that long grayish beard. Dude, I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh.
Yeah, man.
I've never had a paranormal experience. I watch all these shows.
I never had 2 until that. Yeah,
I think
until
it's
that.
fascinating. I would honestly love for the 3 of us to get some like night vision cameras and go somewhere scary. Take this guy out and just look for like ghosts.
So that's the thing, by the way. Speaking of cameras, they had this one heat-sensing camera. I forget what it was exactly
Like
called.
an infrared.
It was FLIR. No, it wasn't infrared. It was heat-sensing, as in it just showed. It actually measured the temperature of each person around you.
Oh,
and
yeah.
all that stuff. I think it was called FLIR or something. It was like $3,000.
Flilf.
But it was really creepy because you would
Flip.
look around the room and you would only see that. But then, like, every now and then you would see another camera that they had placed, and it would show, like, it was 80 degrees. But you'd freak out for a second because you're like, oh, is that a ghost?
All right,
It's really
can I move
spooky.
on?
Anyway,
Nicholas
move on.
Love ghosts.
Procia.
Yeah.
One of the worst things happened to me while shooting was when I was first started shooting snowboarding. I was using a fisheye close up to the rail, standing in what I thought was the safe zone, and the rider hooked too far to the left. And before I could even process what was happening, I was landed on, and the rider broke a rib, and I got some pretty decent gashes from the edges of his board. Luckily, I got my camera out of the way, and we were able to finish the shoot after we got back from urgent care.
Urgent care.
I grinded all over your spleen.
Damon Powers. My camera bag was sitting on a friend's floor once, and a Gold Bond bottle fell into it without the lid being closed. The amount of talcum powder all over my gear was something.
Who has the problem with an itchy crotch that has that much talcum
Gear
powder?
was
Was it
something-
Shaquille O'Neal?
Was something straight out of a photographer's horror story.
Was it Gold Bomb or cocaine you spilled into your pouch?
Benjamin Sandness. I dropped a wedding band inside of a piano.
Ooh.
I had a wedding band, engagement ring, and grooms. I thought when it said wedding band, I was like, the instrument playing ones. Sitting on
Like
an
Adam
open,
Sandler?
sitting on an open piano. That was wedding
singer, yeah.
singer. I took one shot and then, while reaching to focus, bumped the lens hood off. I guess I hadn't clicked it all the way into place. Lens hood fell, landed on rings, and the band fell. That was definitely my biggest bleep moment.
Yeah.
So they
At
fell?
a wedding date. This was early in the day during prep. After about 5 to 10 minutes of looking, I couldn't even see the damn thing. I knew it landed on wood from the sound it made, and it was below the strings and hammers, or whatever their technical name is. I swallowed all my pride and went to the bride. I did my best to inform her that the ring was very safe, but might not be out for the wedding. She is an ER nurse, so I think that contributed to her ability to handle the news well. I shot some more prep also at the church where the offending piano was, and then went back to try and take care of the ring situation. They know their jewelers really well, so they had offered to bring over some alternatives. Did I mention that the groom is a huge hulking guy? Anyway, with the help of some gaff tape, a paper clip, 2 fiberglass ribs from a folding softbox, and a flashlight, I eventually located and freed the ring. Well, we all had a good laugh afterwards.
Wow.
Well, I'm glad you found them. I'm glad they discovered them.
So you have a piano, clearly.
Yes.
How closely together are those strings?
The
Like,
strings
can you
are-
not just put your hand down there?
No.
It's
String-
that.
there's
They're tight. It's
88
tight.
strings.
Wow.
And I will say, when I took my photos for the wedding, didn't lose the ring, so killed that. Killed it.
Again,
Killed it.
Todd, +2.
Better than you. Just want to let you know that, whoever wrote that. Better
Matthias Appel happened to me 2 weeks ago when I wanted to get onto the subway train. 2 kids in front of me were really slow, and then all of a sudden an old guy with a trolley came from behind and pushed me. It was Todd. My foot got in the gap between the train and platform, and I was starting to fall.
Oh my
But I
God.
didn't want to fall onto the kids, and fuck the kids, fall on them, in front of me. So I tried to fall to the side, which resulted in me falling directly onto my camera bag. Good thing my old lenses are all made of metal, so nothing broke, but I did panic a little because I was certain that I was smashing something. I'd be more worried that I fell between the gap.
Yeah, seriously. I'd be more worried about my body, my
Yeah, that's
freaking leg
crazy.
getting cut
Jennifer
off.
Putman, first maternity shoot on the beach. Tide was coming in, got some awesome shots of the waves crashing behind the couple.
Todd and his wife.
Then the wave kept coming. It soaked my pants.
That was the wave, or
And a split second later, I realized my gear was
it's
a
weird
little
because
close
after
for,
I got married, it was like a split second later that my pants were wet.
later, I realized my
is
gear
that-
was a little close for comfort and went running. Saved my gear. The waves came within inches
I
of my
saved
pack.
my gear too. That's weird. I mean, it's a similar story.
Todd, the wave came within inches of my pack. But
That's what happened.
then
on my-
I had to walk around with damp pants for the majority of the chilly evening after the
That happened
shoot.
to me. I had damp pants.
Not the most horrific, but I've yet to totally trash a rig, so anything less recent hasn't really stuck. See? Oh. This is my notes.
I'm sorry, although I do have a picture of me and Chet dressed in a tuxedo for my wedding.
Your dog? What does that have to do with this story?
I just was like thinking of ridiculous things from my wedding. I have a picture of me and my dog, and I put a tuxedo on my dog, and it's absolutely brilliant. I will give it to you.
Chet sits and spins. It's funny.
Oh,
So see,
Never met
see,
Chet.
don't shoot maternity pictures. Lesson learned. You shoot maternity pictures, your pack gets wet.
well, that's what
Jamie
happens.
Jamie Lynn, one of my very first clients outside of my friends and family. I was doing a maternity shoot with a very pregnant woman, her husband, and their 2-year-old. While I was taking a solo pic of mom, the little girl went looking around exploring and came back with a dildo.
Oh my God!
I just made that up.
Oh, I thought you were serious.
No, that's a scene from Parenthood.
That's
When the
so
lights
Damn
went
it.
out.
I was hoping that was real.
All
that
of a
was
sudden, she
real.
comes running at us, screaming while being chased by bees. She had disrupted a yellow jacket nest, and yellow jackets are fucking
They're
nasty.
nasty.
Next
That's
thing
way
I know,
worse.
we were all being attacked by bees. The mom, who is very pregnant, took off. Is very pregnant like a very full plane? Right? You're either pregnant or you're not.
Now, when you're very pregnant, you're enormous.
I get it. But you're
You're
pregnant
9 months
nonetheless.
in and ready to go.
Yeah.
The mom, who was very pregnant, took off running, stripping the whole way. The dad is trying to get
Sounds
the little
hot.
girl who
is
is
there
frozen.
any video of that? Is there any video of that part right there?
The dad is trying to get the little girl who is frozen, saying, "Let it go, let it go." I'm trying to help.
I'm getting stuck.
This is
in
a
my
cliche
Hold on.
my girl story,
Left
but
my-
reversed.
He doesn't have his glasses. Left
see
my
without his glasses.
left my tripod and everything in the middle of the field. Finally got the car where the family takes off, squealing tires. I had a kind stranger go get my stuff since the bees seemed to be
Why would
ignoring
you get in your car
him.
and peel out from the bees? I think once you're in the car, you're probably good.
Let me explain. The family went to the ER where they had been stung close to 30 times each.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it was horrible.
That's
Well, that-
terrible.
yep.
That's all right. Hold on. That's a terrible one. That's a horror story.
Definitely.
Thomas Coleman, flying my Inspire 1 in this pack of hawks came from 200 yards away to dive bomb my drone with some
Hogs?
hawks.
Hogs. I thought it was
H-A-W-K-S.
hogs. I thought just a bunch of pigs like attacking him. God damn it!
These
You're
boars came
you
at
have
me.
drones. my piglets. Sorry.
200 yards away, dive bombed my drone with some tactical maneuvers. We made it out. We made it out alive. Jason O.
Oh, face. Oh.
O'Reilly.
O'Reilly.
That's a local commercial. O'Reilly. I was shooting a wedding, and just after the ceremony, we proceed. Oh, by the way, with those maternity shoots, you don't shoot maternity shoots because bad things are going to happen. One, they may want to get naked and have you take their picture. Two, you may get a wet crotch. And three, bees may chase
Bees.
you. Jason O.
That happens. All three of those things usually happen to me on a weekly basis.
I was shooting a wedding, and just after the ceremony was proceeded over to a field for the wedding party and formal shots. A grasshopper landed on the bride's dress, and I was asked to get a shot of it. Oh, Jesus. I bent down and ripped my pants from crotch to just below my knee in the inseam. This was only 2 hours into the day, and I still had 10 hours to go. Moral of the story, bring extra clothes. Kevin, may the Schwartz be with you. Showing up for a shoot and realizing you left all your batteries on the charger at home and the one in the camera is half-life.
Sounds like
That is like my nightmare, though. Man.
Well, you know we do many
like some-
checks
sounds
before
like
we
some
leave the
sandwich.
house.
And I bring at least 4 batteries with me every time. I
Oh,
shoot.
speaking of horror stories where batteries go bad, remember when we were in Poland and you were using those shitty batteries? What?
Yeah, which you loved for a little bit.
Yeah, I thought they were good.
Yep.
And then
because the GoPro battery version
was fine.
of those batteries work great.
Fine.
But so I bring 2 of those with me, and the way the camera reads the 5D, at least Mark III, the way the camera reads the battery, it doesn't read it accurately.
I wasn't happy.
So we're shooting this.
In Poland.
What was this? D810 review?
D810 review.
Did he
D810
snap?
review.
Did he snap? Did
we're
he
like
snap?
we're like halfway through
I
the
didn't
review,
snap.
and our hotel is probably what, like 15-minute walk.
It was like a 10-minute walk.
Something like
already.
that. I'm shooting, and my camera battery says halfway. I think I'm good. Dies suddenly out of nowhere, and I'm like,
And he didn't
what the
bring
hell?
extra
What
batteries.
the heck? Because I thought I had a full charge battery at the time, which it was, but third party, the camera didn't read it right.
You could have put extra in your cargo
What
shorts.
happened?
Yeah.
What happened with this
Well,
one?
anyway, he gives a little minor freak out
I
moment.
didn't
It wasn't
freak
terrible.
out. I was just like, well, it is what it is.
It's
Go
one
get
of those
the batteries.
like your parents aren't mad, but they're disappointed type moments.
I was like, Steven, you have
One of
cargo
those.
pants.
Like I felt like a dick.
You have cargo pants. You could have put an extra battery in your
I could've
cargo
put like
pants.
10
Yeah, I mean,
batteries. in my
first off,
cargo
you're
pants.
a dick with cargo pants, so you might as well put more batteries in them.
He missed the Hare Krishna people singing. Krishna,
Hey, but that
Krishna.
review came out pretty
That
good.
review was
Yeah,
awesome.
so I ran back to the hotel, grabbed like 10 extra batteries, and we
The only
filmed rest of
horror
it.
story I can think of that's personally happened to me is one
You
time
shot a
I was on
wedding?
a shoot with sound guy Matt. It was just me and him, and I think Dan was there. But I was shooting,
Hey guys, hey, do you need anything? Can I help you?
and it was like a
I
really,
do. I do.
It was really early in me doing video stuff, and I was shooting myself, and the handler, it wasn't the client even. It was like an in-between person that was like kind of like an agent. And he insisted on us shooting like this dumb shit. It was just dumb shit. Like I was like, there's no reason for us to shoot this. But regardless, I shot it. And I was like, cool. And I was like, all right, well, we ran out of space on the card. And I was like, all right, we got to do some other stuff. And all of a sudden, I don't know why I did it. I hit format the card.
Oh jeez.
Oh,
And Matt, sound guy Matt, was there, and he was like,
saw you.
dude, why'd you just format the card?
Not a fan.
And I was like, oh my God, what did I? But I think I chalk it up to subconsciously. I was like, this is the dumbest shit I'm shooting all day. I'm never gonna use this, and it's exactly what happened. So it kind of worked itself out, but just in a lapse of like being flustered a little bit and just being like in the midst of it all, somehow I ended up erasing the card that I had.
That's
It
why
was
we don't
crazy.
recommend deleting anything in camera.
No, never.
I had a somewhat similar story, but I didn't actually format the card. One of the CEOs of the radio station I worked at, like the president of the entire cluster of Philadelphia.
I bet you he rides first class.
Oh yeah, he definitely does.
Yeah.
But anyway, one of his favorite bands was Social Distortion, which I find a little odd. But anyway, we took he wanted a picture of him with the band. He was
Just him.
very, very big
Just
on that.
him.
Very big, just
Yeah.
him. Before they performed,
It's a
like,
big deal for him.
yeah, they were in the session where they were about to perform, and I take a picture, blah, blah, everything goes well. I take the whole studio session shoot. I go back to my computer a couple hours later when I get home and go to import everything. Everything is okay, except his picture, for some odd reason, gets corrupt. I don't know why. I
No.
tried everything. I tried every recovery program, everything possible.
So what'd he say?
And his picture got corrupt. And he was like, this is his exact words, I thought you were a professional.
Oh,
And I just like crumbled inside.
well, it's like yeah.
Of course.
and I was just like, I don't know what you
of
what
all
do you want me to
pictures,
do?
of all pictures.
Of all
Like, you just
pictures,
say shit
that
happens.
one picture, and that's pretty much what I said.
Yeah.
I
I
was
have
like,
another
I don't know
question.
what
I have
to tell
another
you.
one here.
Anyway,
Josh Mindman. I was shooting a wedding and filled up a card right before the ceremony. I went into my quick menu to switch to my second card and somehow bumped my settings from RAW plus JPEG large to just JPEG small. The entire ceremony
Oh, small.
was nothing
Perfect.
but thumbnails. Well,
Did
first
that
off,
before, too.
with two cards in the camera, it should just be overflow automatically.
Yep.
Like you should shoot RAW and JPEG to the same card, not RAW to one and JPEG to the other. Just let it go and do both.
let it go. Yeah, I had that happen. You all right? I had that happen as well,
It scared me.
where I went to shoot a show and I forgot to switch my my settings to full RAW, and it ended up switching to small JPEG because when I usually shoot
Oh, no.
studio sessions, for the meet and greets, they want the pictures right away, right then and there, and they recommend small JPEG. So I shoot that for them, and I forgot to switch it back, and worse.
And those are the horror stories that I picked.
They're good stories.
Yeah, I thought they were pretty good. There were a bunch more, but obviously for time purposes,
Yeah, of
you
course.
can look on Facebook and go read everybody's horror stories if you
Wow.
really want to.
I like this. This is fun. Yeah.
There's over 200.
We should do this more often.
There's over 200 submitted ones. So I almost want to get a pizza from Joe. He had 10 pizzas left tonight.
Tonight?
Yeah, I saw on Instagram.
Wow.
We could probably call him. They're closing. I don't want to eat that now before bed. Plus, we
Yeah.
got to go to.
We gotta
New York
go
tomorrow.
in. I gotta wake up in less than 7 hours. Can't wait.
All right, so now we're
Sam,
up to
bear
gear.
me. I'm trying to pass out before the end of the show.
Todd, you have to drive home. Are you gonna drive home like that?
I gotta pee really bad, but I don't feel like
yeah,
getting
I'm
up.
gonna drive home just like this
That'd be funny.
with my gun strapped to me. I'm gonna get out West Philly.
Officer, can't you see me? I'm an officer too.
Shock talk.
All right, so now we're up to the gear of the week, and we're gonna use this gear
What
right
is
here.
gear of the week? Ah,
This is gear of the week.
holy crap, that's big.
This is the new stool. Steven recommended. It's going to be part of our probably 25 gifts, $25 under 25.
Not GIF, but GIF.
Yeah,
Nice.
that we're doing for the holidays.
That's nice.
This is called the Big Rhino folding stool. Holds up to 400 pounds, so it can hold big people.
So
Is this
it
15
hold-
inches?
So it could hold.
I believe it's 15.
It's 15 and a half inches,
Yeah.
Steve. Holy
Holds 400 pounds.
Yes.
Wow.
So talk about the stool. You have one of these?
So I have one of these too. I initially bought a footstool, which I think was not big enough, but I recently shot a show this past week. Halsey, actually, the new girl singer, she had a concert at Union Transfer in Philly, and I brought that stool along. It was sold out, so completely packed. The top of the venue was filled to the point where I couldn't even put my camera over people. So I had to bring that stool, and it was great because if I didn't have that stool, I would not have gotten any pictures after the first 3 songs.
How do you use it? To stand and get over
Basically,
the
to
crowd?
stand over that crowd to get directly in the middle of the
Nice.
venue at the top, second floor, get that picture, entire venue, wait till the lights come up for the chorus, get that shot. But if I didn't have that stool, I would have been literally pointing my camera, holding it up. But with that stool, I can
Nice.
actually stand up
Yeah, nice.
above everyone
That's
else.
a big stool.
Was anything in focus?
Huge stool. Everything was in focus,
Cool.
luckily.
I was just asking.
But it's great. That's probably one of the best purchases I've ever bought.
How much was it?
And it's probably $20, $15.
It's under 25. I bought it.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna do
It's
this
cheap.
25 under 25.
We're going to do a 25 gifts under $25 or less
Yep.
from Amazon.
Yep.
It's
I
going to
think
be
I want those.
basically what it is it's gifts that people can buy for photographers
More
that
tchotchke,
you really don't have to worry that you're
ancillary
going to get them the
items.
wrong thing.
Yeah.
Because you can't buy, I'm going to buy them a lens because you just can't if you're
No.
somebody, you don't know
No,
what people
you
need.
can't do that because you know what? A photographer's already bought what they want.
Right.
In terms of that.
So you get them
Yeah.
something cute and cool, and we've curated 25 items, $25 or less, and we're going to start making that.
I'm gonna show my wife that. She always needs something to. She always.
I'm
going to
show your wife this.
Magic Mike outfit, under $25.
I will. I have a gun, by the way. No, every year my wife asks me every year, "What do you want?" And I was like, "Love and life." And she's like, "Stop it."
Wait, what's your daughter sound like when she says, "Who's that?"
With what? Who? What?
When you played her the 1989 by
Ryan
Adams?
Not Brian Adams. Ryan.
Oh, Ryan. She's like, "Oh no, I played it for her and her friends. I thought it was gonna be really cool." And they're like, "Can we play something else?"
What's this hipster shit?
Daddy, can we play Kill on a Top? Can we just play Kill on a Top? I was like, yes, fine. By the way, I believe Taco Bell Becky is a little bit of my daughter. I'm pretty sure the voice I do is an imitation of my daughter.
because she does that from that Mira Sings or whatever the hell her
Something
name is.
like that, but then
on YouTube?
just the way she'll go off on a tangent on me.
It's the Jimmy
Daddy!
Fallon ew.
Daddy. But that's I'm telling you,
Oh my god!
if 10, 11, 12 tweens are just you're like, really? That's where we're at?
That's funny.
Whatever.
All right, let's get to the Wheel of Fro.
Yes.
On the Wheel of Fro, we got Adoramapics.com, Fro Prize Think Tank photo bag, audioblocks.com/go/fro. Lexar, the official card of Raw Talk. HOYA.
HOYA.
Yay!
HOYA.
HOYA.
HD3.
Oh,
800%, 800% harder, ultra smooth nano coating, kind of like my chest.
That's exactly how I am right now. You can't see it under my computer.
Well, funny thing you say that, Todd.
Super bad.
What?
I just think I'm super bad. Funny
Funny thing about that, Jules. It's located on my back.
Greatest movie ever.
So HOYA, Rode microphone, ? Borrow lenses, Fro prize, squarespace.com/go/fro, videoblocks.com/go/fro, Lexar, Black Rapid, Rode, Spin Again,
or
and
Urban Rapid.
You're a dick.
I'm just trying to point things out.
So am I picking the name now or after I spin?
Well, do you have a name now?
Well, do you guys, let's vote. Do you think the spookiest of the spookiest?
You know, I'd really like to give it to the people that had the most fucked up stories. I mean, there were people that had really bad things happen.
Well,
What was the one that we all were like, oh,
it was this
man.
one. That one.
Which one's that?
That was the
the dad that committed
where none of the
suicide.
Done. That the guy that went to Afghanistan?
Yeah, the photos
Done.
didn't show
Yeah.
up.
Yep, that's
just
the winner.
him.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
All right, I got to get up and spin the wheel.
Let's do it.
And he's about to fucking fall on the ground. He's about to fall on the ground.
Hey now. Look at that farmer's tan. Where's Vanna White? Maria?
She's
Anyone?
old and wrinkly.
Maria?
Yeah, we need Maria.
Please?
Maria doesn't want to come over right now. We're about
Around
all
and around
4
it goes.
beers
I
in.
hope my neighbor's not home. It's 11:15 and we're making all this noise. Around and around it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. The Wheel of Fro is about to stop on Think Tank photo bag. Woo! Congratulations goes
Nice.
out to Natalie Skittles Williams.
Skittles.
You had a very scary story.
Yeah,
And that was
man,
freaky.
Really freaky.
That was a horror story.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, so we've made it to the end of the show.
We have.
It's been Raw Talk episode number 155. I just got off the airplane,
I gotta
first
pee
class.
again too. It's weird.
Sitting next
I don't
to
have to
my
pee at all.
I have like a
I gotta
40-year-old
pee
bladder.
so bad right now.
Well,
Please
we're not
end the show.
We're not done yet.
I gotta pee right now.
God damn.
Oh, Todd, just wait a minute.
It's coming out.
Oh, it's already done.
So-
Thank you.
I'm peeing.
We're going to Photo
flowing.
Plus. We're going to Photo Plus tomorrow.
Yeah.
That should be good. We're going to meet a lot of fans. We're going to walk around.
Hopefully get my 5D
Who has a
sensor
fan?
cleaned.
Does Steven have fans?
Yeah, well, yes, he does.
Does he?
They come up and they say hi. You won't be there.
They come up and
Would
they
I
say,
have fans?
You maybe have one.
Screw you! I have a gun.
Don't drop your laptop. Your tether table isn't here yet.
And these pants are really, really slick. They're really
You know what's
shiny.
funny? Like, he's going to get the tether table and he's going to kick it off.
Yep.
And he's going to dunk his laptop.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Joe, did we like Joe's costume?
I like it. It's perfect for tonight.
When's Joe coming?
Oh,
with his,
Sam.
With his
Oh, you
costume.
mean? Oh, yeah, I don't know. I'm still waiting on Joe to come here. Sam's over there hanging out, but
Carl!
Joe, eventually, or Carl.
Carl!
I don't know who it is anymore.
Be careful. You gotta hit the brain.
All right. So I'm tired.
Yeah.
Long day of travel and work and stuff in Minnesota.
Sitting in
Finished the
first
show.
class. It's rough.
What'd you say?
Sitting in first class.
Wah. Wah. I'm in first class.
They had grilled chicken.
Was it good?
It was edible.
Not as good as yours.
Not as good as my grilled chicken. I like grilled chicken, urban style.
Oh boy, here we go.
You guys are dicks, man. So that's the end of the show. Thank you to HOYA. I hope they still like us after all this. You know, after
sure they will.
I don't have a shirt on, and you're Jimmy Dugan, and Todd is that guy from whatever TV show
Rick
that is.
Grimes.
Jimmy Dugan.
I'm Rick Grimes, bitch.
Thank you, Beer Man. Can you get that off my table, please? Thanks. Can you get it off my table,
I'm about
please?
to piss
Thanks.
on your table, by the way.
All right, so that's it. We'll be back next week with another episode of Raw Talk. This is Raw Talk number 155. You can get all the photo stories and news stories and more at FroKnowsPhoto.com/rawtalk-155. Jared Poland, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.